YouTube. It's your boy Tank B Chopping, and I'm coming at y'all with another haircut tutorial. So as y'all can see, we're gonna be doing a kid's cut today, a number 2 on top and a low fade. Let's get it. Alright guys, so as y'all can see, I got my Gamma Ergos. I got my number 2 guard on there. My lever is closed all the way, and I'm going over the top of his hair. And remember guys, when it comes to going over the top, you're gonna have to go over it a couple times to make sure it's all even, make sure all that hair is knocked down, and make sure it's the length you want it to be. If not, you might have some stray hairs at the end, and you might have to go over it again at the end, but it's all good. I always like to go over it at the beginning of the haircut. A lot of times, against the grain, across the grain. Say that in almost all my videos when I'm doing a guard on top, and it's just because, sometimes you get stray hairs, you get little flyaways, and you want to knock all that down just to make sure it looks nice and neat. So if you are already a barber or you cut hair already, you know how sometimes cutting kids is, it's a difficult task at times. And it's just got a lot to do with a little bit of everything really. It's the head shape, the head size. They're kids, they get fidgety really quick, they start moving. Kids are a little bit more difficult than adults. Than some adults, you have some adults who are like that. But we still got to get it done. So I still try to do my best to make sure I get give these kids the best cut they can get. All right, so let's get down to the actual fading now. So as you can see, I got my Babyliss rose gold trimmers. I'm creating my first bald guideline. And since we are doing a low fade, we are keeping this low. We are going to try to keep that C cup darker. So as you can see, I have it dropped in that front a little bit. I didn't take out that line completely out in the front. And remember guys, that's just to make sure the C cup is a little more, just to make sure the C cup is darker and we can see it when we're lining them up. And remember guys, with low fades, what I tend to do with all my low fades is I drop it below that occipital bone in the back. And that's just that little bump that we have in the back of our heads. Everyone has it. Some people are more dominant than others, but everyone has it. So yeah, with my low fades, I always like to drop it right below that. So now that is done, I got my Babyliss rose gold shaver, and we're going over what we just did, taking all that down the skin. The closer we get to that guideline, we're actually flicking out and we're not applying as much pressure. If we do, it's gonna make that line harder to take out, so that's what we don't wanna do. So sometimes I'll come down, or I'll even just start flicking up towards the top of that line. Alright guys, so now that is done, I'm taking my Gamma Ergos. I got my lever all the way open, and I'm setting in my next guideline, and I'm gonna come up about 3/4 of an inch, following that same shape that I just created with the bald guideline. I'm following that same shape all the way around the head. And remember guys, I'm trying not to leave too harsh of a line, so I am flicking out once I get closer to the top of that guideline. And that just makes it easier to take out the next line. It doesn't leave too harsh of a line in. So we're gonna go over this a couple times. Wanna make sure we're consistent, make sure we got that all down to the length we need it to be. And then just clean it up. Right here, my lever is closed halfway, and I'm just coming up right below what I just did, still flicking out. And then I'm closing my lever all the way, and I'm just tacking that bottom line. And now I'm doing some small detail work in between this section. And I'm just cleaning up some dark spots I see there. So as y'all can see, he's got a little indentation in the back of his head, or towards the back of his head. So you're gonna have to play with that lever a lot to make sure you get that out and make it look good. Now I got my number 1 guard on there. My lever is all the way open, and I'm still following that same shape, coming up about another 3/4 of an inch. And remember guys, with each new section that I'm creating, I'm flicking out towards the top of that section. That way it doesn't leave too harsh of a line. So once I do this, I'm gonna go over it a couple times, and I'm actually gonna close my lever all the way and attack that bottom line. And that should, for the most part, get rid of most of it. You still will see a slight line, but we'll take care of that with the 1/16 guard when we need to. So as y'all can see, I'm just adjusting that lever as needed. Now I got my number 1.5 guard. Lever is all the way open, and I'm coming up to right about the parietal ridge, and I'm flicking out. Now I did do this at the beginning of the haircut also, if y'all are paying attention, and I'm just basically doing it again, just being a little extra, making sure it's all down to that length that I need for it to, just so it can fade in and look good. So as you can see, I just closed my lever, and I'm still attacking that them little dark spots that you see towards the top of that fade. So now I have my 1/16 guard. My lever is halfway open. And I'm gonna start getting rid of that little bottom guideline that we see down there. And as you can see, this blend looks like it's coming together. We working. And as you can see, I'm adjusting my lever, just trying to get rid of all these dark spots. And I'm going to be switching guards. Obviously, there's some dark spots in dark areas and other places of the head that I need to take care of. So you're going to have to learn to switch guards when needed. Know basically what length each guard cuts at, so you can see and you can know what guard is going to, basically what guard you're going to need to use to take away some of these dark areas and dark spots in the fade. So I have no guard on there right now, but I am using the corner of my blade, just doing some corner blending, trying to get that fade to look nice. And as y'all can see, I think this fade's coming out good so far. It ain't even done yet though, we still getting at it. Here's my number 1 guard. Once again, my lever is open. I am using some corner blending, and like I said, this is all just detail work, guys. You'll learn what you need to do the more you do this and the longer you do this. You know, like it's one of those things that you learn to do. Sometimes, you know, your eyes play tricks on you, and you can't really see what you're doing, or you look at it for too long, and you're not really sure if you see a line or not. So sometimes you might need to look away and then come back to it. But the more you do it, I think the more you actually get that barber's eye, and you get to see what you're doing and what needs to be done for that fade to come together. All right, so now we're starting with the lineup. I am starting in the middle of his head, and I'm working over, and I'm working my way over. And as you can see, he's getting a little fidgety due to the hair falling in his face. I always try to keep another hand on their head when I'm edging them up, especially when we're doing little kids, because that way you can feel when they're gonna move. So yeah, you can pull that trimmer away. You don't wanna have any accidents happen, especially now that, well, I mean, you don't want to have one happen regardless, but it sucks when you're already almost done with the haircut, or you're halfway done with it, and then let's say he would move, and now basically the haircut's ruined. So yeah, you want to keep a hand on him, make sure you try to hold him as still as possible, and also so you can feel if he's gonna fidget or move around. So now I'm doing some more detail work, just trying to get this fade to look even better. I don't know, I think that looks pretty good. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments so far, guys. We working. Yes, I am a little extra when it comes to my detail work, but like I said, I think that's what sets me apart. So due to him being a kid, obviously, I didn't record the other side of the haircut. I didn't want to take too long, you know, trying to move the camera around. So I just went ahead and, you know, started fading him up, and now I'm just doing the other side of the edge up. But just so y'all know, I did the same exact steps on his opposite side that y'all seen. If that makes sense. I don't know if I said that incorrectly or not. I did the same steps on that other side that y'all just saw. There you go. I'm pretty sure y'all understand that. And now I'm just edging him up, trying to follow that same guideline that I created on one side of his head, and I'm just trying to make sure I get that as straight as possible. And remember, guys, when you're lining anybody up, you want to make sure to use the mirror. Take your time and don't rush. A lot of people rush through lining people up. Just take your time. Give yourself as much time as you need to do the haircut. If you need 45 minutes, allow yourself 45 minutes to do the haircut. Even if you need an hour, like allow yourself that hour to do the haircut. Like a lot of people think you have to get people out so quick. Now, obviously you do want to get your clients out pretty quick, but at the same time, you want to give them a good experience and a good haircut. So it doesn't have to be that fast. Like if you take an hour on a haircut, and especially if you're new to cutting hair, that's perfectly fine and that's normal. Just work on just getting better, and the time is gonna get better eventually. You know, as long as you get consistent with it and you keep doing it over and over and over, the time is gonna cut down and you're gonna get better and faster. So don't even sweat that. All right, so as y'all can see, I did decide to record the back for y'all. Reason being is a lot of times when we do low fades or drop fades, it's hard to bring that back in, just make it match with the side. So that's basically what I'm doing here. I did do the same exact steps. And as you can see, I'm just trying to tie it all together, just doing some detail work, moving from the sides of his head to the back. And just, like I said, just basically make sure it ties in all together. Now, towards the end of the cut, remember guys, he's a kid, so he's gonna start getting fidgety, they're gonna wanna move. And you know, that's perfectly normal and that's fine. Just try to get them out as quick as possible, but still, you still wanna give them as good as a haircut as you can give. So I try to work, you know, my magic, move a little quicker, but at the same time, still try to take my time to make sure he's got a nice haircut. If y'all have any questions about the clippers I'm using or any of my tools that y'all seen in this video, y'all can make sure to drop a comment below, guys. Y'all can ask that question and I'll get to it as soon as I can. Also, if you're looking to buy the Ergo Gammas, you can actually get them from their website. I have it down in my bio, and you can use the promo code TANK10 and you'll save yourself 10%. All right, guys, so check it out. This is the before look. This is before we even touched them with the clippers. Hair was long, needed a haircut. Boy was looking rough. And this is the after. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this haircut in the comments below, guys. I think I did a good job. I think this fade looks pretty blurry. Edge looks on point. Y'all let me know what y'all think. If you haven't done so, please make sure to like this video. If you don't like it, you can unlike it. That's cool. I ain't even tripping. And if you haven't done so, please subscribe to the YouTube channel one time for your boy. Let's go. I appreciate y'all, YouTube. Until next time.